Hi everyone, welcome to the Amish quilt square tutorial. This is part of the Read and Crochet Along cowl that I have on my channel. And this square was inspired by the book An Amish Quilt, which is a novella anthology by me, Beth Wiseman, and Kelly Irvin. As always, you can find information about purchasing my books on my website, kathleenfuller.com. And I'll have that information in the description box. Also, you can find a free written pattern for this square on my website under the crochet and knitting tab. That will also be in the description box. All right, to make this square, you're going to need Red Heart yarn. You can use any kind of yarn, any hook size for this project. It's up to you, but to make this particular square, you're going to need Red Heart yarn, and you're going to need it in Delft. And this will be in the description box. So if you need that to refer to, it's also on the pattern. Dayglow Yellow, Shocking Pink, Spring Green, and then Delft again. All right, you'll need a crochet hook. I'm using a 5mm. I crochet very loosely. Usually the Red Heart, when you use Red Heart yarns, they recommend an I or a 5.5mm hook, but use the hook that you need. Some scissors and a yarn needle. All right, let's get started. All right, to start the Amish quilt square, we're going to make a slip knot. Then we're going to chain 3 with Delft. That's the name of the color of this yarn. 1, 2, 3. We're going to slip stitch into that first chain to make a ring. We got a little bitty hole right there that we're going to work into. We're going to chain 1, and then we're going to put 8 single crochets in the ring. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to squeeze number 8 in there. Still got a little tail there, so I'm going to pull that tight. There we're going to join in the first single crochet with the slip stitch. All right, don't fasten off. We're going to go straight to round 2, and then we're going to chain 1 again, and we're going to put 2 single crochets into each single crochet. So this is going to be 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, whoops. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, and 2. All right, so at the beginning of the round, we should have 16 single crochets. So let's count them before we join. This one here doesn't count. That's not, that's that chain 1, so you don't want to single crochet into that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Yay. All right, we're going to slip stitch into that first single crochet, and then we're going to fasten off. All right, now I will meet you for round 3. All right, for round 3, we're going to use Dayglow Yellow, and if this isn't an appropriate name for this color, I don't know what is. So we're going to join in any single crochet. I'll just start here. We're going to chain 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And this counts as 1 treble plus chain 4. Then we're going to single crochet into the next stitch. Then we're going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. and then we're going to treble into the next stitch. So yarn over twice, insert your hook. You're going to have 4 loops on the hook. 1, 2, and 3. Pull through all the hooks. I'm sorry, all the loops, not the hooks. Whew. All right, chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Single crochet into the next stitch, and you're going to repeat this all the way around. I'll meet you at the beginning of the round. All right, so I am at the beginning of the round, and so once you've done that single crochet, you're going to chain 4, and it's going to complete this petal. So you'll have 8 petals when you're done. I'll show you what I mean. So single crochet here, and we're going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then we're going to join to the top of that, not to the top, excuse me, we're going to join to the 4th chain in the first chain 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's going to complete our petal. And as you can see, I'm to the end of my yarn. So I'm going to pull through there and fasten off. So here's what your petals are going to look like. And I'm just going to go through the construction of them. So we did an initial chain 8. So this is chain 4. And then when we single crocheted into the next stitch, that rest of that chain 8, which would have been the 4 chains, makes the other side of the petal. And then you single crochet with the single crochet into that stitch there, then you chain 4, that makes one side of the petal. You do a treble into the next stitch, that makes the middle. Then you chain 4, and that makes the other side, and you single crochet. And so you repeat that around, and then when you get to that single crochet, when we chain 4, that makes this petal complete. So this petal, unlike these other ones, is just going to consist of the chains. All right, so that is the Day Glow Yellow round, I'm going to call that. And so we'll go on to round 4. All right, for round 4, we're going to use Shocking Pink. And I was just looking at this. This would be really cute if you made this in like some thread or maybe sock yarn, and with a smaller hook you could have really cute little flower motif if you wanted to make a pin for it, or any, you know, kind of decorative thing. So yeah, you could just use the first 3 rounds of this pattern and you got yourself a flower. All right, let's go ahead and go on to round 4 with Shocking Pink. And you're going to join into the same stitch. So now that I've set that down, I got to find my initial. It's right here. Those chains look a lot like this, so that's actually a good thing. All right, you're going to join in the same stitch that you. I'm sorry. I'm gonna keep that in there too. Mistakes happen. All right. What you're going to do is you're going to join into this middle treble. It's going to be right where we joined earlier, and I went ahead and wove in my ends, so that's a little tight. And then we're going to join here. We're going to chain 1 and then do a single crochet in that same stitch. Chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. You're going to single crochet in the next single crochet, so that's going to be between the petals. You're going to chain 4 again, 2, 3, 4. You're going to single crochet in the next treble, chain 4, and we're just going to repeat this around. There's my chain 4, single crochet between the petals, chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, single crochet in the treble, and then this is what you'll have. All right, so go ahead and finish that. I'll finish mine, and I'll meet you at the beginning of the round. All right, we're at the beginning of the round, and after you've single crocheted in this last single crochet that's between the petals, you're going to chain 4 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, and look at this yarn chicken, y'all. That's how much I got left. All right, then you're going to join in the first single crochet. All right, and then you'll fasten off, and you've got your flower. And I'm gonna make sure that I have single crocheted and everything I need to single crochet, because when I was designing this, and I was like 4 or 5 times I missed doing in between a petal or doing at the top, so I just want to make sure. But that's what it should look like when you're done. All right, and then we're going to move on to round 5. All right, now round 5 is still in shocking pink, but we're going to start it in between the 2 petals in this single crochet. That's where you're going to join. So that's why we had to fasten off. All right, so we're going to join here. Chain 1, single crochet single crochet in the same stitch. Hang on a minute, let me get this, there we go. All right, then we're going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, we're going to skip the next single crochet. That's what it says in the pattern, but actually we're skipping this whole petal. So we're going to put our next single crochet in between the petals. Crochet there, and so you'll have that chain 5, and I'll show you what to do with the chain 5s here when we get to the end of the round. All right, chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Skip this whole petal. If you're following the pattern, it's going to tell you to skip this single crochet, but you end up skipping the whole pattern petal when you do that. All right, and then we're going to single crochet there, and then chain 5 again, 2, 3, 4, 5. Single crochet in the next single crochet. All right, go ahead and finish all the way around, and I'll meet you at the beginning of the round. All right, we're at the beginning of the round. We have our chain 5 here, so we're going to join in that very first single crochet, and then we'll fasten off. All right, the next thing you need to do is with these chain 5s is we're going to put them behind the petal, just like that. So just move your petal forward and the chain in behind, so it's going to look like this all the way around. We'll just poke them here, just like that. Okay, that's from the first round. Let me see why I have to weave in my ends as I go along. And then your flower will look like this on the front with the chain 5s in the back. All right, I'm going to weave in these ends, and I'll be back for round 6. For round 6, we're going to use spring green, and we're going to join in that same stitch. We're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3. That counts as a double crochet. We're going to double crochet in the same stitch. Then we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and we're going to make a picot. And to do that is you insert your hook in the first chain of the chain 3. Then you're going to slip stitch to join there. It's not really joining, it's just a slip stitch. And then that gives you a picot. All right, and then you're going to double crochet into the same stitch, and then you're going to do a second double crochet into that same stitch, and there you have a leaf. That's 2 double crochets, picot, 2 double crochets in the same stitch. All right, and then that leaves us with these 2 chain 5 spaces. So we're going to put 5 single crochets into each one. So first we'll do the first 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Whoops. Then we're going to chain 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay. And then we're going to make another leaf in this next stitch here. So we're going to do 2 double crochets, 1, 2, chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Do a slip stitch, make your picot. Whoops. Let me do that again. That got splitty. All right. Redo. 1, 2, and 3. Slip stitch into the first chain. About to do it again. Make your picot. And then we have 2 more double crochets. 1 and 2. Okay. And then we're going to do 5 single crochets in the next chain space. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Chain 1, and then 5 more in this space. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then we're going to make another corner, which is the leaf corner. All right, so this is what it looks like so far. You're going to go ahead and do the same around, and I'll meet you at the beginning of the round. We're at the beginning of the round, so we're just going to slip stitch into the top of that chain 3, and I've already cut my yarn. But you cut your yarn. All right, so now we've got our leaves here in the corner. We have our petals. We can do a little bit of rearranging here. And then that's going to be round 6. And we will go on to round 7. Okay, for round 7, we're going to join with Delft in the same stitch that we just fastened off in. I'm going to chain 1, we're going to single crochet into that same stitch, and then we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, and 3. We're going to skip this stitch, the picot, and this stitch, and we're going to single crochet into the next stitch. And that's going to give us this chain 3 in front. But what we're going to do, we can do this at the end, but I'll show you if you want to do it now, is you just move your leaf to the front and the chain will go in the back. All right, so we're going to crochet, single crochet in the next 5 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That brings us to the chain 1 space that we did between the 2 groups of 5 single crochet. So we're going to take the top of this petal, we're going to single crochet, we're going to insert our hook into the top, and then we're going to insert our hook into that chain 1 space, and then we're going to crochet through both of them. So what that's going to do, we're going to do a single crochet through both of them. That's going to do is going to fasten that petal to the square. All right, and then we're going to single crochet into the next 6 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to skip like we did before. We're going to skip the next 3. Well, we're going to skip the next 2 stitches plus the picot, and then we're going to single crochet in the next stitch in the next 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. If you're following along with the pattern, what the pattern is going to tell you is that you're going to single crochet into the next 6, because it'll just count this one as the 6th stitch. So once you chain the 3, then you're going to single crochet into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But for this tutorial, I'm going to explain it with, anyway, I don't want to confuse everybody, just, never mind, continue on. Okay, top of the, excuse me, remember, insert your hook in the top of the petal, and then you're going to single crochet through that chain 1 space and the petal. That's going to fasten that there. And then we're going to do the next 6 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And that's going to bring us to the leaf again. So here's what it should look like so far. I'll push that leaf up front at the end of the round. So go ahead and finish off this round, and I'll meet you at the beginning. Okay, now for round 8, we're going to use Delft again, which I ended up fastening off, and I really didn't need to. I'm not sure why I did that. I just did it. The pattern says don't fasten off, but that's okay. So you can join with Delft, or if you want to, you could join with another color, whatever color that you want to join with. You could, you know, any of these colors in here, or your own, whatever color you would like. So what we're going to do is chain 2, and then we're going to, that's going to count as a half double crochet, and then we're going to put 2 half double crochets, that's 1 and 2, into the next space, that chain 3 space. We're going to chain 2, and then we're going to put 2 more half double crochets. All right. And then we're going to crochet all the way to the next corner. We're going to half double crochet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. All right, then we're going to make our corner. It's going to be 2 half double crochets, 1 and 2, chain 2, 1, 2, then 2 half double crochets, okay, and then again we crochet to the corner. That should be 13 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. All right, and then we'll make another corner. 2 half double crochets, chain 2, 2 half double crochets. So go ahead and finish that around, and I'll meet you at the beginning of the round. All right, we're at the beginning of the round, and we're going to join in this first half double crochet. It's a chain 2 actually, but it counts as a half double crochet. And so you should have, when you did this last side, you would have crocheted only 12 stitches because we did the 13th one at the beginning. So I want to make sure I said that. So let's insert our hook at the top of the chain 2, pull, and there is the Amish quilt square. I'll fix my little petals there. Okay. All right, thanks for joining me as we made this Amish quilt square. And I hope that you will check out the other patterns and tutorials that are in the Read and Crochet Along CAL, or RCAL as we like to call it. And I'll see you next time. Bye.